In the last episode, we learned about Edo Kiriko glass cutting and HANASHO, one of the leading makers of it. We look at their highly artistic products and learn about different patterns and techniques. We also learn the process of making Edo Kiriko. If you haven't done so, I would most definitely recommend watching the first episode of Edo Kiriko just to appreciate those sparkling beauties. In this episode, I try making Edo Kiriko myself. I get to make a Guinomi sake cup. I wish I could make the wine glass or the vase that we saw at the store, but you should probably start small. I will do my best in making mine as pretty as possible. First, we select the color and design of Guinomi. I choose red, the traditional Edo Kiriko color with stars on it. Looking at the sample, I draw the lines where cuts are going to be made. Done!
そしたらですね、いざカットに入っていくんですけれども、最初にこの外のカットから、カットしていきます。グラスの縁を人差し指と親指で持ちまして、OK です。側面をこの3本指で、3本指で支えるように持ちます。一度当てたら、もうその線を多少ずれても削り続けてもらった方が、綺麗にできますので、これでもう削るようになってますので、
You can't see the blade well through the glass, and I was afraid of cutting myself. It's quite difficult to hit the mark. Now I try the second line. With Sayuri's encouragement, it is quite fun making cuts. How am I doing? I think my star is very pretty. Try not to tilt too much forward. Be very careful. Next, I'm going to cut the horizontal line. To cut a horizontal line, I hold the glass sideways with my right hand holding the edge of the glass. The glass needs to be tilted a little as you can. Again, if you tilt the glass too much, that could ruin the piece. Make sure the blade touches at the right angle.
それはちょっと難しいですね、確かに。
We are going to cut a slanted line.
斜め線の持ち方はさっき縦線削るときこうやって持ちましたよね、これを斜めにします、で当ててこうやって削るんですけれども、多分今左手が結構苦しくなってますよね、なのでこういう風に持ち替えてください。そうですそうです。なのでこう右手と左手でこうコントロールしながらグラスを、動かすイメージですね。
The slanted line needs to align with the horizontal and vertical lines at the center. To be successful with this cut, you should take your time and start at the center. Slowly but surely, it's coming together.
できました。すごーい。
Finally, I made all the cuts. Sayuri thinks I did it very well. Now we are going to fine-tune the thickness and length of lines. Sayuri showed me how. If you want to make a flower petal, apply varying amount of pressure so your line goes from fine to thick to resemble a petal. Sayuri was trained to be a craftsman. No wonder she does it with ease.
そうするとこんな風に、
なるほ
こういう風な花びらみたいな
になる。
できます。
下の方をじゃあ長く。
そうですね。
Fine-tuning is just as nerve-wracking as cutting itself. If you have seen a Furi-making episode, you know drawing isn't my thing. But this is something else. I actually enjoy glass cutting quite a bit.
私これ得意かも。
I felt like adding a horizontal line along the edge. It's technically more challenging because the beginning and end of the line have to meet. But I have Sayuri by my side.
ぐるっとやっていくわけなんですけれども、よくその、やり方としてはお説明しますと、こうまず当てます、当てて削ります、線ずれないようにしっかり狙いを定めて削っていきます。でこのままこうやって削りたくなっちゃうんですけども、我慢していただいて一回離します。限界が来たら離して、この削ったところにもう一回当てるんですね。当てて、また削って苦しくなったら離す。でまた持ち替えて同じ場所に当てて回して苦しくなったら離す。
If the first lap is not satisfactory, do a few more laps to make adjustments. I don't know what you think, but I'm very happy with my glass. The last thing to do is to erase the markings.
ありがとうございます。あ、
違いますね。
できました。 ありがとうございました。
ここで日本酒とかお召しになられますか？
日本酒飲みます。なので今日早速これで飲まさせていただきます。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
On the way home, we stopped at an izakaya Japanese bar and tested my new glass. Sake definitely tastes better in an Edo Kiriko glass, especially if you made it yourself. How did you like Edo Kiriko making? It was much harder than I expected, but I'm glad that I was able to learn a bit about the techniques, traditions, and philosophy behind the production of the craft through this experience. I hope you get to come and try making one of these little beauty in the future. They offer a whole variety of courses for you to learn the craft. Check out the description for the link to their website if you are interested. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
You're acting like a volcano, tending to be my savior. Nothing you do can save us, because you're